State on September 2nd. Luke Johnson joins us right now on the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team, Mississippi Farm Bureau. With Luke, maybe we should call it the Farm Bureau friend line instead of guest line. He's part of the crew. He's a friend. He's not just a guest. Hi, Luke.
Hey, Richard. How are y'all on this Wednesday?
Wonderful. Always appreciate your time. Will Hall has to be happier because now they're playing football, because they have pads on. It's none of this shorts and helmets nonsense anymore. It's it's like super tight pants that come just above your knees and shoulder pads. And now we can play football.
Yeah, he said yesterday, I think early in practice, Jay Stanley hit somebody pretty hard, and he got fired up. And exactly what you said, we're playing football now. So Eagles were in full pads yesterday. They went back to shells today, but a lot of energy. Eagle Hour was out there yesterday, and it's always a step up whenever the pads get on and you start actually hearing people hit.
What did you learn being at practice yesterday and kind of watching it in person, seeing them kind of go through the full deal?
So a lot of players that they feel good about positionally as far as like tool-wise. And one guy that they're really happy to have back, a guy named Brandon Hayes. Will Hall said yesterday, Brandon is a wide receiver out of Oak Grove, 3-star guy out of Oak Grove, and he was hurt all last year, tore his ACL. And, Will Hall said yesterday, a lot of people talk about how we missed Swayze Bozeman last year and we missed Hayes Maples at linebacker, but a lot of people don't realize that we really hurt last year not having Brandon Hayes. And even today, Hayes is one of the fastest guys on the field. Had 2 long touchdown pass or receptions from one from Wiles, one from Edwards. He's going to be a crazy difference maker this year, and he's not even in the starting 3. So, having him back, the defense flies to the ball. There weren't a lot of missed tackles, and this is coming also on the offensive side. They've been really impressed with the offensive line because it's pretty much set. And I think that's really what's going to happen for the passing attack to come along, the running game. They're really going to emphasize it. So just getting after it with the positivity. Had some injury news come out, also that's not good, and we can talk more about that as well.
Well, let's do it. Let's just get the bad out of the way because I want to talk quarterbacks as well and what you're seeing at the quarterback position. So, what is the most recent injury news?
Two players. Armandus Cooley, who transferred from Mississippi State, Wayne County guy, he tore his Achilles, and he was pushing for a lot of playing time. Played in 13 games last year. Was going to be big time on the defensive line. He's out obviously for the year. He'll have surgery soon. And then the other has been there've been little talks about it. Avery Hobbs has been absent from camp. Dan O'Brien mentioned last week that he was, losing a guy like Hobbs is bad. And so nobody knew really what was going on with Avery. Will commented on it, and he's not with the team right now. He'll be back in Hattiesburg this week. But whatever it is, it's pretty substantial. And Hobbs led that defense last year with tackles for loss, and he was going to be back at kind of that hybrid defensive end backer position. They call it the jack. And so those are 2 guys. Cooley obviously out. Hobbs, it appears, is going to be out for a long time. Not sure what it is. Can't speculate on it. But the Nasty Bunch down 2 guys, for the considerable future. But with that said, there's been bright spots on both sides of the balls early in camp through 7 practices.
Well, and that's the news that you want to avoid, right? One, you want injuries not to happen to anybody, and you especially want injuries not to happen to guys that you believe are going to be impact players. Football is a contact sport, and so it's part of the game, and it happens. But, man, that's a bummer just a week and a half into camp for Southern Miss. Visiting with Luke Johnson on the Farm Bureau phone line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team at Mississippi Farm Bureau. So you mentioned the quarterback spot a second ago, just kind of calling names out. Holman Edwards and Billy Wiles are the guys that I feel like most people are keeping their eye on. Do you believe there's a clear-cut number 1 yet?
No, they've gone back and forth. They've had good days, and Dima Mixon from Big Gold Nation, he kind of said it this way. Will Hall's going to have to kind of maybe pick what he wants. And, for instance, like Holman is deadly on the deep ball. I'm talking about he's probably got the stronger arm in the sense on the deep ball, more accurate. But Billy's been a whole lot better in, like, mid-range game. He's a more precise passer. And this offense has both burners and, possession guys. And so I think really both guys have made the case through 7 practices that they're the guy. You kind of feel like which way the offense is going to go is going to be based off that. So Edwards probably has a better deep ball, but Wiles has 15 and in. Wiles has been the more precise passer.
All right, I'm kind of getting off in the weeds, and I'm maybe asking you to do something that you're not comfortable with. If you say the weakness or a weakness for Holman Edwards is kind of the intermediate passing game, and Wiles has more of a weakness in the deep throw, which of those two weaknesses is less glaring, more overcomable?
Yeah, I mean, I would probably think early on. I mean, eventually, you can defend. You can defend deep balls. Eventually, you can just put more people back there. I would think that the simple aspect of it is you want to have more options in between. But to say that doesn't mean that Holman Edwards isn't a passer. Like, just for instance, you just go off the sample size. They were in a drill, I believe it was yesterday, and he threw a big interception in the red zone. At the same time, he's airing it out to Brandon Hayes. It just seems as if Wiles was getting passes across the middle. He was more accurate in that, and that's where I'm using the precision description there. So I would say right now, I mean, it really is. It's going to depend on what emphasis Hall wants his quarterback to have, and that's why Saturday they've got a huge scrimmage. I think Saturday you will have a sense coming out of Saturday, maybe not who has like a full step up, but maybe half a step up on the other guy.
Is the scrimmage open to the public on Saturday?
Yeah, practices are. Yeah, it should be open.
Will Hall's like, y'all want to come watch? Come on and watch, huh? I love it.
And the opportunity too. They've been bragging about it. I don't know if you guys knew this. Southern Miss got new turf over the season, and it's considerably better than it was before. Players love it. And that's another reason, to watch these things. But apparently, it's much softer than before. Better than that stuff we used to run on, say that much. But I think that the scrimmage will allow both of those guys the game will be faster to them, which will probably accelerate positives and accelerate negatives, as they're put under the gun. Because this is a really fast defense, especially just the back end has been really good too, but they're going to get a lot of pressure Saturday, and it'll probably expose some things and highlight some others.
Anything else stood out to you at practice so far?
Just it seems that everybody is kind of taking the overlook from the Sun Belt. This team's picked to finish 4th. Everybody's just kind of taking that in stride and feels confident. We talked to Drake Clark today, who's one of that 3-headed monster in the backfield with Kenyon Clay and Frank Gore, and he just says, it doesn't bother them the fact that they're being overlooked. There's a lot of confidence, and they feel like they're going to surprise some people. And so I kind of like that. That's just kind of the old school Southern Miss way. We'll see you on the field. We're not going to say much. And so the energy and just kind of the quiet confidence that this team seems to be moving with is really the few things that stand out.
Luke, always appreciate your time. Good catching up this afternoon.
All right. You guys have a great day. See you later.
Thank you. Luke Johnson on the Farm Bureau